Did that just say we're breaking the law?
Breaking the mold.
Oh, the mold.
Yeah.
I thought it said we're breaking the law.
Ooh. Gotta keep that one.
Yeah, just feel
I
it.
like it.
This is the what version?
The synthwave version.
Synthwave. Would you hear this like in a jazzercise class? Where would
Yeah,
you,
oh, yeah.
Where would they play this? Just
I don't know.
feeling good.
Tell us about the jazzercise class.
Not that I've been to one.
Stop.
I wouldn't.
Matt, come
Yeah,
on.
you've posted on leotards
This
before.
6'5" on the
I go to
yeah.
curves.
curves. There's no curves.
This is old.
What are you talking about?
It's got a good beat, dude.
Yeah.
Great beat.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Good work.
Bronco Nation, how we doing?
Hey,
Hey, howdy, hey. I'm Matt Lamb,
doing good.
joined by Brandon Minor.
Yep.
Mark Moss.
Yep.
Roll call is done. Everyone's here.
Are
Hey,
we
guys.
aligned? Are we aligned on the camera as we need to?
Dude, we're as aligned as we're.
Gonna be.
Why are you asking these questions after we started going?
Not sure. Should
Yeah,
have
we're going.
thought about that before we started.
Hey guys, we're coming off a 62-30 win. Conference play has started. We took down Utah State last night. A couple quick hitters. We're gonna get in the game in just a little bit, but Mad Dog goes 21 for 25, 256 yards, 3 TDs.
Yep.
I'd say that's an improvement.
That's a pretty good one.
Our running back, maybe you heard of him, Ashton Jeanty, 186 yards, 13 carries, 3 TDs. The long carry, longest one, you know what it was?
75.
75.
Before
He
we get
just
into-
does that.
He does it. He's amazing. Before we get into the game, can I give an update on my personal celebrity status?
Oh, yeah, this is big news.
You
This is-
as a celebrity?
did
Oh,
we
wow,
know
what?
this last episode?
No.
Oh, because
What are we
we
talking
couldn't
about?
told our. Should have told our
But
viewers.
you, if you would pay attention to text messages I send out, you would know that
Mark, you got invited to
that
this.
yours
Oh,
truly
yeah, the
was
watch
on
party.
America's Funniest Home Videos
AFV, Brandon
AFV.
Minor on AFV.
at home.
I watched it. I was there with my
Can I
family.
tell you how it went?
Yeah,
We told everybody.
you had a little watch party. Did anybody come to the watch party?
My neighbors did.
Your
My
neighbors.
mom.
I didn't.
Matt didn't. Mark didn't. Okay.
We had.
This is way more important than the Boise State game.
Well, let me just give you the update. So I put in this video 2 years ago.
Really funny video, by the way.
It's a great video. In fact, we could
I'll throw it in
throw it in at the end.
right now. Here comes Brandon's video.
You ready, babe?
I'm ready.
Zeem's ready. Oh!
Whatever.
Go get him! Go get him!
Oh, that's it, Zeem.
What's taking you so long?
I don't know. I didn't realize it. Zeem, I'm coming, buddy.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
That
just
was
saw
the
the video. That was
we just
funny.
saw that. What'd you think?
Let us know in the comments.
Well, so 2 years go by, and AFV emails me, and they're like, "Hey, you're going to be on this Sunday." It's a big deal. I thought it was a big deal.
How
So-
big was it?
I get on, so everybody's there. We're watching, and I'm
how,
not
how high are the expectations? Because the video is how long?
It's about, I don't know, 45 seconds.
Okay.
Hold on. Did you and there today? Is there like a spread out? Is there, you got like food,
Yeah.
hors d'oeuvres?
So we had more than just that.
drinks?
So we had heavy apps.
Wait staff.
Heavy.
We had heavy apps.
Wait staff.
We had a montage to Bob Saget. Okay. We were playing, as people were coming in, we were playing the old AFV intro.
Oh, yeah.
And so we had it all going. Right? And it was made apparent pretty quick that it wasn't going to be my own standalone video on the program.
When they cut to the segment that you're going to talk about, I knew. I'm like, it's going to be in this segment.
That
instead of-
sucks.
Just like a
So it was a boating montage, and the video is, we all saw the video. I fall off a boat and hurt myself. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to be a montage. Like I'm not going to be a standalone video. So then they show my video. They don't show my face.
show your face.
Yeah.
They
It's
just
like
show
you're-
the back. Well, I'm falling off the boat.
just that little clip at the end.
Nobody knows it's me.
No one knows it's you. There's
unless
no
they know you're
one.
back. You're
Matt
Not
knows
many-
Matt probably knows you.
your shirtless back.
Very-
I've seen it.
It's an
Plenty of
intimate
times.
person who knows my back well enough to put me out.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Matt, you were there.
You were team skins, shirts and skins.
Dude, I'm not going to.
You were bareback.
I was super disappointed.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even see my face. Nobody knew it was me. And
What
then
was the reaction at your house?
everybody's like, "Was that it?" And I was like,
You didn't. Of course, that's it. That's my back.
"I was like,
Is that
of
the
course
first
you
time you
know.
heard that? Was that it?
I was like, "No, I hate that. I hate that statement." I was like, "Yeah, that was it.
That was it, guys.
That was it. How was it for you guys?" Not great. Not great. And then again, disappointment from the room.
Just like, oh, man.
Yeah. Well, then I was just, and then I had one last hope that at the end there's an honorable mention play.
Nothing.
Dude, you want to know who won though? Who won the?
I didn't hang in that. We saw
Shouldn't
yours,
have.
and
It
then
was not good.
That's how it always happens with AFV. The dumb videos
this dumb
make it.
kid won't shut his eyes during prayer, and he wins 20 gur.
My kids do that every day.
They do it every
Come
day.
on. I'm gonna 20
That's not that hard.
Come on.
I
All
was
right.
literally ready to fly to New York to do all the morning circuit shows, ABC,
Yeah.
NBC.
Good Morning America. Are you going to resubmit it?
AFV used to be a big deal back. Not say it wasn't. I'm glad you had the party today. But back in the
dare
day,
you.
it was a big deal, man.
A lot
was
of
a bigger deal.
A lot of the kids there were like, "Wait, what's the difference between this and YouTube?"
Yeah.
And I was like, there's commercials, there's a structure."
Carlton from Fresh
Yeah,
Prince.
we got Alfonso Riveros in there, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's super. I'm kind of deflated.
Okay. Well, on that note,
Brandon won't be talking much. He's going to be sulking in the corner. So Matt and I will take it from here.
lucky you
so
guys.
let's get into something important. The game last night was pretty sweet. Are we getting in there?
Let's
Yeah,
get
we're
into
getting
it.
there. Do we need to talk about pregame, how we got to the game, 3 of us on
I think-
scooters? Yesterday, Mark Moss wrecked on his scooter.
On the way back, dude, I woke up in the middle of the night. My shoulder, I was like, oh, man. But then
You
by
fell.
the time morning,
America's
I
Funniest Home
ate-
Videos,
yeah, I ate
right
it.
there.
There were some people who were,
What'd you-
they're like, what is that?
what'd you
What's
think?
the 40-year-old dude
What'd you
doing
think
on the-
about the mini scooter?
It was better than the walk, you know?
walk.
I did take it. I took a tumble.
I took a spill
on the way.
Well, that's how we got there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now to the game.
So I filmed Jeanty.
Dude, you were all over those.
I got all of his
Did you
touchdowns.
get him?
I got all of his touchdowns. If you watch our YouTube page, you'll see him live. There's a feeling that every time he gets the ball, he's going to score a touchdown. And you know that when he beats the first guy, he's probably got a better than 50-50 chance of
What did I
getting a
say on
touchdown.
that first one?
He's like,
on that
he's
first
gone.
one. Yeah, you can hear it.
He wasn't even around. I got it.
You got it?
I'll play it, and you can see like the minute, because you said it early on.
I said it real early.
And it's just so funny. I mean, all of us know the minute he gets around one guy,
It's
it's
The
freaking
craziest
wild.
thing, and I've never seen anything like this before. The reaction to that play. See ya.
Yeah, he hadn't even gotten
I
around.
said see ya before
He
the
hadn't
crowd.
even
Yes,
gotten
that was
around.
me. Oh man, that was crazy. But the reaction to that play was in the press box was something I've never seen before. Do you know what I'm talking about? I looked down the line. There's us 3. There's the first kick was good, dude. There's Prater was right there. The whole crew, JP, everyone was laughing. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Everyone was
it's
like kind of
just-
smiling,
Yeah.
giggling, like laughing, like, oh my gosh,
It's-
first play. It was crazy.
It's Ashton's world, and we're just we're just living.
Well,
in
did
it.
you hear the announcer? Have you heard this guy?
Oh, dude.
Ashton Jeanty.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him go. You can't bring him down. Is he? Yes, he will.
Yes, he will.
That's an awesome call, dude. I heard that. I sent that to you. That was an
good.
awesome
It's
call.
good. And then the second one, the guy's just laughing.
No way.
I'm not kidding. We'll play it right
we
now.
gotta- I really appreciate the good calls, like radio calls or TV calls. Those are awesome.
He's hyped up.
Yeah.
They don't see an opportunity to exploit that.
Got it. I like that. Oh, look at Jeanty go. Does he have enough speed? I think he does. Touchdown, Jeanty. He's
That's a great-
unbelievable.
That guy's awesome.
Were they Were they in this?
I
were
don't
they-
know.
I don't know. Didn't check.
Were they? Was he a Boise State guy? That guy, he was.
Will he go?
He will.
That was awesome.
We need to put that. We need to put the video overlay.
That
anyway.
was
No,
awesome.
it's special. And I was telling you guys before. Last night was the first time it really hit me. He could win the Heisman. That I sound like an idiot saying that, but the ramifications of a Boise State player winning the Heisman,
Would
dude,
be huge.
that's incredible because every year you have those Nissan Heisman commercials. Okay, every year Ashton Jeanty, and they're going to want Buster Bronco and the blue turf. They're going to play that all the time, and so I just think the validation and the exposure that Boise State gets, it's better than AFV, it's better than all this stuff. But I just think that's huge. Like it's the first time I actually set into me that it could happen, and it makes me want it, which scares me.
Yeah, it's weird. We are at the point in time with Ashton Jeanty that it reminds me of the Peterson era when winning a game by 15 didn't feel good enough.
Yeah.
And it's actually takes away from the enjoyment a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does, because you're like, I remember, and there's the conversation of, oh, should he have played some more? You want to get him over 200 yards? And there's this feeling of like, oh, he could have rushed for 300 plus if we kept him in and blah, blah. And obviously it was an amazing game, but every game from now on is going to have that weird feeling of it's not good enough just to win if Jeanty doesn't get his number, sort of, in a way, which kind of sucks, but in a way it's pretty darn exciting.
Well, there's two big arguments coming out of that game. Playing Ashton Jeanty in the second half, and then we'll get into the second one later on. But if that's the biggest argument,
Not bad.
that's pretty sweet. Have you
awesome.
ever seen a crowd chant for somebody to get the ball in game?
Well,
Never seen that.
Well, so Breezy was in, and
Yeah.
then Ashton comes in for him, and
Happened
they're
a couple
chanting
times.
as he's coming in.
Jeanty.
Yeah.
From the
and
sidelines.
then Bolt's like, I'll catch this touchdown. Sorry, guys. I'm going to catch it.
Yeah.
Good for him, by the way. Two touchdowns.
Two touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You were 1 week off on your hot take prediction, Matt.
I was a little premature on the hot take. I said, and in my book, maybe it has an asterisk by it, but he had one last week.
Yeah.
PI call or face
Space
No,
Master,
just,
definitely.
Yeah. But 2 for Bolt. That's awesome. Love Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt's amazing.
Happy to see it.
I've never seen somebody get their name chanted in game, like on the field.
Because football is a different crowd, right? In basketball, crowd's closer. You can hear that type of
See their
stuff. You can
faces.
organize the chants a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, football game, pretty awesome.
Pretty special.
Well, and finally, I did a little bit of research.
Hey.
Research. I went on the Deseret News and was looking at what
Was
they
this
were
when you were
saying
up
about-
last night nursing your injury? from the
Yeah,
scooter
ice
fall?
around the shoulder and the hip. No, but they talked about, they were
Who's
like their coach kind of said
State.
we're gonna stack the box.
Interim head coach.
Yeah, the interim head coach. But anyways, so to your point about Bolt, right? Like they're chanting Jeanty's name, right? And Bolt gets 2 wide open touchdowns, right? And we're finally starting to see the effect of Jeanty and how it opens the rest of the offense up. And then Mad Dog played great. I mean, he wide open guys all day long. He didn't fit anything into, which is fine. I'm not criticizing. It was like play action, wide open. They stuck basically 9 in the box. They had a safety, and I don't know formations exactly, but their safety wasn't a super high safety. He was kind of right behind the linebacker. So it was one-on-one stuff all day long and wide open dudes.
Mad Dog, a great read on that touchdown to Camper.
I'm trying to even remember the
right
back
over
in the
middle.
end zone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Second score.
You can
Yeah.
view that on our YouTube page if you see that live from the sports page. Anyway,
If you get sick of seeing the up close version on TV, come over watch ours from like way up high, the shaky, zoomed in, much better version.
yeah, I don't know how much you can say about Jeanty. It's so incredible. They had an off week. If I'm the defense, I'm staring at Jeanty the whole time. And so, yeah, I'm going to give up the tight end touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give that up.
Dude, they came off a bye week. What do you think they're doing in that bye week? Do they think they're holding
The
up jersey
first
number 2? Like,
play.
hey, get this guy. And then the first play
Yeah.
goes for a touchdown.
It's wild. And, it's crazy because you can expect to have a decent game against Hawaii.
Yeah, I saw a little bit. Yeah, you would expect so, but they're like top 40 something in stopping the rush defensively. So they're better, way better than Utah State's defense is really bad. I mean, we are close, but they're even worse as far as statistically. They're like 123 or something. Yeah. They are not good. They were not good defensively. So I think this week will be a little bit more of a challenge, but it'll be interesting to see how teams try to attack us. But
sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. But to your point, like the Heisman talk. So I don't know if you saw this, but he is at this moment, he's the betting favorite.
Yeah, I just saw a little clip
Which
with
is
Shannon
crazy.
Sharp and who is it? Ocho Cinco on their show talking about Jeanty, and it's like everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, and so and it hasn't hurt him yet that he hasn't played 2 halves, entire halves. He's played 4 games, basically the equivalent of 4 games.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see that they have like people. You'll see like ESPN. Like I saw a couple different graphics, and in there at the bottom it said did not play in the second half of these 2 games. So at least that's being acknowledged.
To the argument of he should have played more, I actually think
he should have played less.
no. I want him to break Barry Sanders' yard record, and so to do that, he needs to play
more,
a little bit more,
and he needs to do it before the postseason, right? Because they don't count Barry Sanders postseason stuff.
They would be an asterisk if he did it any
So-
time before that. But I think that's.
I want it to be an emphasis, and he has to, I guess, average 200 yards a game to do that before the postseason.
It's tough. I mean, I've gone back and forth on this. Like, I totally get it. And I did see Danielson's interview, and he's saying all the right things. It's about the team. It's about keeping him fresh, about having him for the season. And
Legacy
the worst
matters.
thing that
He said it. Jeanty said it.
I mean, the worst thing possible would be we're up 4 scores and he gets hurt, right? And Hassanin, let's not forget, Hassanin went off when we were up 3 or 4 scores. Is he going to, like, I don't know what happened. He was definitely walking off gingerly with help.
A knee.
Yeah,
Don't know, but
from up there, it looked like they're looking at either his knee or his ankle. But, so that's like, oh, what's Hassanin doing in the game, when we're up that much? And so worst case scenario is
14
Jeanty gets
yards.
hurt. But the opposite of that is you're a football player. You only get so many chances to play. You know what I mean? Per
Can I say
year.
this?
And well, yeah, just give me just a second.
Yeah.
And it's like, to your point, I mean, Jeanty even being in New York at the ceremony, let alone winning the thing, would do so many things for our program. I don't think you can discount that. I think that should be part of the conversation. Now, I don't think he should have been playing all 4 quarters. I felt like, and at the time, and I still feel the same way, that you come out of into the third quarter, out of halftime, and you go at least 1 or 2 drives.
Yeah.
That's what they used to do with Kellen. I don't remember Kellen getting pulled at halftime.
No.
They would come out, they're up 35-3. He'd come out, get another touchdown, then they'd sit him. 1 or 2. Yeah. And so I think I'd like to see a little bit. I mean, it is what it is, but 1 or 2 series, especially, and he was at what did he run for? 187? You give him 1 series, he gets over 200. It just pops bigger. You know what I mean? Off the screen. Jeanty ran for over 200 again. And I get it. We won the game by 30-something. But I think that has to be part of the conversation when you look at the whole of our program and the future and all these things. That's got to be part of it.
I think it's comical that we're like 186 just isn't enough.
Well, isn't that crazy? It's crazy.
He could have done more.
But I mean, there's been a few, not any big names, but you're already seeing a little bit of, it's Mountain West competition. It's been 1 game. And as the games go on and as some of these big-time games happen with big-time teams, every touchdown, every 200-yard game counts. Even now, you know what I mean? And it's going to add up at the end of the day. If he breaks a record, then there's something, But if he rushes for 2,100 yards, that's an amazing season. But is that a Heisman, As a G5 school, as a running back, the deck is stacked against him. So I personally would have liked to have seen 1 or 2 series, but,
this is the time to win it, though. There really isn't a clear front runner, right? Travis Hunter is just popular. I mean, he's not the best wide receiver on his team. He's not even really the best secondary guy on his team, but he makes a couple good plays a game.
Yeah, no, well, I think he's really good.
Oh, yeah, he plays both ways. That's
he's
fine.
but
But he's not on a great team.
Right.
And so, okay. And so, anyway, my point being, it's not like he's the quarterback of Alabama.
Exactly.
Like doing that.
Exactly.
Doing that, right? It is interesting to know. What are you laughing at, dude?
The tweet.
The buddy tweet?
Yeah.
Okay, we can get it now. It is interesting to know that every time in the second half, when a backup running back, bless their heart, when they were like 20 yards past the line of scrimmage and they get tackled, I'm just like, Jeanty would have scored that. Jeanty would have got that in. You're like, guaranteed.
Yeah, dude, I remember seeing Dubar run for like 11, 12-yard run. It was great. It was like a great run. It's like Ashton probably would have broke that.
Jeanty would have been 60 yards right there, dude. That's sad to do that, but
it is. It's special.
What was a cool spectacle, though, on TV, and I guess they had it in the stadium, too. They had on the video screen, the big screen, whatever, they had Jeanty, they had Breezy, and they had Dylan Riley. All three together.
Yeah, that was cool.
All three of them had a touchdown.
It was sad that Sire Gaines was out of that. Like,
missed Sire. But those three.
Yeah, that was cool.
Riley's was a kickoff return, which was awesome to have.
That was incredible.
I don't know when the last time it was that we had a kickoff.
Avery Williams probably.
Avery Williams was in the house yesterday.
He was
saw that.
Avery Williams, great guy. He was at a basketball game last year. And one of the early November games, and my kids went up to him, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys mind if I get a picture with your kids?" Like, he was super nice, just like incredible guy. Back to your point, national pundits, talking about Ashton's not being valid stats, right? Did you see the Buddy tweet?
Dude,
I did after I asked you guys. I saw
this guy has to be the biggest troll. Like,
I wonder if he is.
Who is he? How many followers does he have? Because it says like NFL scout or something.
He says he's the founder of Kent Analytics.
Okay.
Harrison P. Kent the fourth.
Okay.
But dude, you go.
How many followers does he have?
He has 2,200 followers.
Not bad.
No. Sorry. He's following. My mistake. 12.6 thousand.
Wow,
so
that's a lot of followers, dude.
It's not just
it's like 12,000 more than us three combined. So that's a lot. So he's not a nobody. He's not a nobody. Okay,
but dude, this guy does not seem legit because
I know
if you go to his website, he says so this is what it says about him: spending his youth in a household that prioritized academic rather than athletic prowess. Harrison P. Kent IV did not have much exposure to athletics at a young age. It was not until he was a student at Harvard that he discovered the sport of American football. After watching only one half of a game between the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers, did Kent discover the sheer simplicity with which the sport can be broken down analytically. Within weeks, Kent had produced an algorithm capable of correctly predicting the outcomes of approximately 96% of NFL games, 94% of college games.
Bull crap.
Can I tell you the tweet? Can I tell you the tweet?
Yeah.
So a guy posted. Not him. He responded to it. So this guy posted, Ashton Jeanty has now reached 1,000 rushing yards before he reached 100 carries, 90 carries, 104 yards, 15 touchdowns. Just remarkable.
1,004 yards.
1,004 yards. I'm sorry. Harrison, our guy.
Harrison P. Kent IV.
Claps back, and he says, his success is largely the product of poor defensive opposition in the Mountain West, especially at the linebacker position, as well as highly effective Boise State offensive line. He's not a first-round talent. Do not be ridiculous. Okay? So anyway, BSU Sports claps back at him and says, hey, this is our first Mountain West game, buddy.
Don't say buddy.
He killed it against number 6 Oregon and went undefeated, and then he got that pushed him over the rails. Harrison comes back. I'm well aware that you played Oregon, Washington State. Also, don't call me buddy. Call me Harrison or Mr. Kent, and then it's on. It was on. There's
you do that,
200 replies that all say buddy to it, all of them.
Yes.
And then they didn't reply, but JD.
Jeremiah Dickey.
Yeah, Jeremiah Dickey was like, he posted.
What was Jeremiah?
He said, sleep well, buddy.
Yeah, sleep well. He didn't tag him.
He
didn't tag him. But I love AD's trolling. Yeah,
he's good.
That's great.
He's good.
I love AD's trolling. And then the last one I'm going to bring up is he's kind of got a little sensitive about BSU coming back at him, and he said, I'm currently being called stupid by a horde of infuriated troglodytes.
We're in Idaho.
Okay.
We obviously don't understand.
From the state of Idaho, the irony is palpable. I am showing these responses. You guys are going to love this.
A troglodyte.
A troglodyte
is a person who lived in a cave.
Oh, that's a bunch of cave dwellers.
Especially
basement?
prehistoric.
Basement vaping in the basement?
Could be.
Are we?
Mom's basement.
So we're a bunch of troglodytes. Anyway, he's showing these responses to fellow alumni at the Harvard Club, and several of us are in tears due to intense laughter. Thank you for this, people of Idaho.
What a tool.
He is a tool.
What a tool.
That one was wild.
I mean, for someone that has 12,000, 1,000 followers. Like, I could understand the argument if we played Portland State, Sacramento State, Idaho, Utah State, and whatever.
Right.
And he was putting up. Still, it's tough to do those numbers. But that's insane. I don't even need to make the argument.
Right.
That's just
You don't.
ridiculous. We
You
played
don't need to
Oregon. We
validate
played
it.
Washington State. That was our first Mountain West game. And our awesome offensive line play, and they're playing great, has 2 starters that are hurt.
Yeah.
40% of the line are guys that we weren't planning on playing. So give me a break, dude. 12,000. Come on. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
The Buddy, I want Buddy to
Buddy.
continue.
Oh, that's
I
so
think every
funny.
good thing that we have to throw Buddy on
Dude,
there.
Buddy the Elf better make an appearance. like, on the
Hashtag
big
Buddy
s-
at
oh.
Kent. We got to at Harrison, the guy.
Harrison should know anytime on Twitter you tell somebody not to call you something,
101.
wait for it.
It's
wait
like
for it.
trolling 101. You just can't do that. Don't call me Buddy. Can we talk? So there's a bunch of things I want to get to about the
do
game.
it.
Do we want to talk the backup quarterback situation, or do
Let's-
we want to talk the defense?
Can we talk Dirk first? I mean,
That wasn't
we
an
are
option.
now
Oh.
we are now the number 1 scoring offense in the country. And I remember last year when we started this podcast, right? Over 50 points a game, 5 games
Who was
in.
calling for it?
You were.
Yeah, baby.
I remember you were like, I don't remember the exact phrase, but basically you were like, I just want an offense that scores points again, right? We
got
were in
it.
the doldrums of the Andy Avalos era, scoring less than 30 points a game for 2 years
You
straight.
don't want to tire out the defense.
Yeah. Oh. and now we are number 1. And I mean, it's just Dirk Cutter being our offensive coordinator is just now. Obviously, Jeanty being there is making his life way easier.
Dude, you hand off the ball on the first play, and it's a 70-yard touchdown.
His life's pretty easy, but no. Dirk is just, I think he's done an amazing job. We are so lucky to have him. I mean, it's just, and then we'll talk about Mad Dog, but I just want to put that out there, though, that number 1 in the country scoring offense again. I think Dirk's doing an amazing job using the tools.
Maybe Dirk can use this to gain a head coaching job in the Mountain West somewhere.
That's what he wants.
I don't think he wants that. But you do wonder, how is he having fun? We think
I
he's
don't
having
know.
fun?
I mean, if you get his response at the press conference,
Not
no,
having fun.
He's not having fun.
Yeah,
Snarky.
that was funny.
He just doesn't like press conferences.
He doesn't like press.
Dude, that was a weird one. Can we stop for a second on that one?
Sure.
Because BJ Raines is like, hey, you're giving the ball to Jeanty a lot, and there's so much success giving him the ball. Do you ever pause and say, well, how am I going to get the ball to anybody else? And Dirk's like, don't come at me with that.
Don't ask me
dumb
that
questions.
question. Yeah.
That's a dumb question. And BJ's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a dumb question.
I didn't think it was a dumb question.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, props to Dirk. Dirk's amazing. I mean, we all talked about it. He was like the MVP of the offense, really, in a lot of ways. Obviously, Jeanty is, but he uses everybody the right way for sure.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I do think
As far as what?
as far as Dirk and next year,
yeah.
you know, I don't. We're in the middle of this season, but he never said it was. They said it was on a 1-year thing. He never said definitively, I'm doing 1 year to help Danielson out, and then I'm gone. He never said that. He is on a 1-year deal, and all the other assistants are on 2. So I don't know. Maybe Jeanty's going to leave, and he obviously couldn't stay away from football. I mean, he came back like twice.
Yeah, and if he just has to coach and
Yeah, he doesn't have to recruit, and
can still play golf.
we talked about this. More schools are going to that. Now they have unlimited assistant coaches now. It's not 10 anymore. So you can get as many coaches as you want, and then Dirk, you just run the offense. I don't know. But I do think if he leaves, it seems to me that Potter is the heir apparent, right? I know that they've talked about Matt Miller and Potter, but Potter's the one sitting up in the box with him. So that just tells me right there that he would be the front runner, which I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. We don't know, but
It's nice to have Dirk as a mentor.
it's so nice to have Dirk now and mentoring them right now. But anyways, your other two, the other two.
Well, what do we want to talk about backup quarterback? Because it was a wild
let's talk
series
about
of events. So Malachi
was
comes
wild.
in, and he doesn't do great at the start.
Well, he came in one play because Mad Dog got hit pretty hard, and he took a sack.
That was disappointing, man. I just go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to. It was disappointing.
Yeah.
You only as a backup quarterback, you only get so many opportunities, right? In live game. And that was this first opportunity that the game wasn't out of control. It was like the first quarter, right? It was the first quarter. I think it was our second drive. Maybe third drive.
Yep.
Maddox gets knocked out. You're in for a third down play.
Yeah.
And he holds on
Deep
to
in our
it
own
too long
territory.
and takes a sack. And it's like, at that point, Maddox did get sacked later in the game. But at that point in time, we had given up 3 sacks the entire year.
Yeah.
And he'd played 2 series and 1 play, and 2 of the 3 sacks he took. And right there, I remember turning to you guys and be like, that's why he's not playing. Is he, Maddox doesn't go backwards. And Malachi.
Yeah.
That was disappointing.
I think it's decision making, and I think we saw that on the interception he threw. He kind of, did a pump fake almost. Like he hesitated, and then he's like, I got to throw this thing, and then.
Between two guys,
review was a bad review call. I think he dropped it. But
do you?
Yeah. I went back and rewatched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you?
And I don't think it was interception, but they said it stood. So, but it was a bad throw. Yeah. Regardless.
To me, it just proved the difference between Maddox and Malachi. I mean, Maddox played solid to good. I would say even good to great.
Yeah. Oh, that was his best game of, I would say, his career.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
And so if that's the type of production we can get out of Maddox,
end of story.
No competition.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the awkward part of it, though.
Yes.
The benching.
So Malachi comes
wild.
out third quarter, right? Hey, it's time to get Ashton, all the starters off. Malachi's in. Doesn't do well.
Gets
next drive, Mad Dog's in.
Pulled. They go down to score a touchdown.
They go down.
Right?
Mad Dog comes in, scores a touchdown. But the next drive, when Malachi comes back in, he throws some good balls.
He looked good.
Good.
How good would does that have to feel if you're Mad Dog and you go in and just, all right, let me score a touchdown real quick for you guys.
Do I have to do this?
Come on.
Okay.
Do I got to do it myself?
that I've never seen that happen.
It was wild. Never seen it either.
But it was necessary because we'll talk about the defense, but they had just gone down and scored. And it wasn't, we were still up.
We had only
lot.
had 2 field goals at that point.
Yeah,
and
we were still up plenty, but it's like you can't not score or turn it over again. Then they score. Then you start sweating. Then it gets. So I think Spencer did the right thing in getting, making sure we were going to score. That said, Maddox didn't throw the ball. In that drive, he handed it off. I'm pretty sure he didn't throw the ball.
Dubar scored on that drive.
Yeah, and it was a short field because we stopped him on a 4th down.
Mm-hmm.
So we just ran.
Yeah.
So it's not like he went in there and did a whole lot, but
That's true.
I think it more than anything it was a message. I don't know. I've never seen that. I'm happy for Malachi and the situation that when they did go back to the bench that he went back in.
He threw some good balls.
He threw some good balls and looked better.
The thing about that I've never understood about Malachi is when he plays, I don't see, maybe it's me. I just,
calling in the signals.
no, I don't see him calling in signals, which has always struck me as odd.
But they don't do that really if the headset's working, right? They don't have the people on the sideline.
No, they are.
They
the other backups are doing the signals.
Yeah, well, I think the signals are going to some of the wide
other
receivers
players,
and some of the. But point being is when I see him make throws, they're nice throws. Are they throws no one else can do? Are they throws that are such at a high level, or is he making plays that I'm like, wow, that's why you would want to take a risk on him? I just don't see it. I don't see him scrambling around, jumping guys.
There's no
keeping
wow.
the ball alive. There's no wow factor. Like all the throws he made, good throws.
Yeah.
Could anybody else make those? Yeah, I thought anybody else could make those. And so I've just never seen the reason you take a big risk to throw him in there.
Personally. Yeah. I mean,
which surprised me because you think.
But you think about it, it's got to be tough being a backup, right? It's got to be tough because you got to take advantage of the time that you do have. And if things don't go right, every little thing that goes wrong, you don't have a lot of time to redeem yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's all of it. It's not only that, but it's like when I'm sure he's a great guy, but when your dad comes on the local radio show and says, oh, yeah, Malachi's there we've got a plan. He's there for 2 to 3 years, and then he's going to the NFL. Like that, he has his team around him. It's like, dude, the guy's a backup quarterback. He was great in the 7-on-7 series, obviously. Somehow he got a 5-star rating. No one's seen it yet in 2 years. So I'm not bagging on it, but like he has so far to go to be an NFL quarterback. He's got this tremendous amount of pressure on him from his dad, from his team, from his NIL agents. And all of a sudden he jumps in there. And I guess I'm not shocked that he takes a sack, right? I mean, I feel for the kid a little bit, and I hope he's successful. And you don't know. I mean, if Madsen plays the way he played today going forward, is Malachi here next year? Who knows, right? Or is he? I mean, what's he going to do? Jump? Transfer again to another G5 school? The Power 4 isn't going to take him after what he's done for 2 years, right? So, you never know. Mad Dog could go down. There could be an injury, and then he really pressures off, and he plays great. So we'll see how the season plays out. And I was super in on Malachi, so I'm not like, but it's just like, man, they put the cart before the horse big time, and I feel like he's got a lot of pressure on him.
Last week you were down on Mad Dog
for good reason.
Okay, how do you feel now?
That is the way that. I mean, what was the percentage? 21
62?
for 24?
Oh,
no,
for
it
the
was
season,
high.
it was at 62,
No, for
sorry.
that game.
Yeah,
it was
21
great.
for 25.
That's great.
So 84%.
I mean, he made the right calls. I mean, that's the way you want it to look. Teams sold out to stop the run. I thought that Dirk called a great game. He didn't have a lot of difficult throws, but he made the right ones.
I thought that touchdown to Camper was a decently difficult throw.
Yeah.
Did a good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that if we get that, you couldn't ask for more.
Yeah.
I think that was awesome. And
just to be fair, Malachi was 5 for 7 with 47 yards. Not
And a
crazy,
pick.
but I mean,
Sack.
yeah,
The sack that Mad Dog took.
Interception.
Did you see the sack that Mad Dog took?
I'm trying to remember it.
So they subbed in left tackle.
The dude the starting left tackle lost his shoe, ran off.
So they subbed in the next left tackle, and the guy just let him run right by. And Malachi's running, or not Malachi, but Mad Dog's running every way and gets sacked.
Yeah.
And that left tackle's like, shit. He got yanked real quick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even the sack he took was kind of like, bro. Did you see Taylor Green?
yeah. He got
What were his number? I saw that the backup was in because he got dinged up. The backup came in, took the drive, took the team down to win the game, right?
So I just saw the end of the game.
Right.
And it was a super interesting end of the game, in my opinion, because the Tennessee guy, it was 4th and 6. There was 6 seconds left. You're on the 25-yard line, and he's scrambling around. And he runs out of bounds with no time
doesn't
left.
even chuck it up.
What?
Yeah.
He
Did you
ran
not
out of
see it?
bounds? No.
He ran out of bounds. He didn't even throw it.
He was being chased. but-
Sort of.
No,
Wait,
like the guy
no
was
time
pursuing
on-
him.
Well, he ran in front of the line. He ended
Yeah.
up choosing to run the ball. So he scrambled around
So he didn't know that he just.
I don't know.
Oh wow, that would be a frustrating
seemed
way
like a
to
lack
lose
of
a game.
awareness.
He
all
ran.
around.
He ran forward for about 6 yards and then ran out of bounds. And then the
game was over.
Game's over.
Done.
Didn't even
Wow.
throw it up.
That was the Tennessee,
Tennessee
quarterback.
guy.
Okay.
So
what about Taylor?
But so Taylor wasn't playing the last.
He got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt, I guess, but they kept going back to the TV kept going back to Taylor.
They
showing
love Taylor.
Taylor.
They love Taylor.
But Taylor, you're looking at him and he's got his full pads on.
He was. I saw it after. So when the team is coming out onto the field to celebrate, he's like hobbling out on.
so he was hobbling.
hurt. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how well Taylor's done this year.
I know his stats going into this game were very similar. They were like he was low 50%, 7 touchdowns, 7 picks, or 5 and 5.
Is that what it was?
It was equal.
What if you
whatever it was.
take out that first game?
Yeah. He had that first game against Prairie View or someone and looked like an all-star, ran for like 150. I think he is kind of what we saw, I think. From the limited amount that
He
I've
is
seen.
who we thought he was.
Yeah.
Crown him?
Crowned his day.
Well, I thought
let
that
him
was that's a storyline we've always wanted to follow.
Yeah, it is. And then the young guy, was he a true freshman or redshirt freshman, 4-star kid that came in and led the drive, right?
Yeah.
Led a late drive. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
If, because TG's their, he's their NIL guy.
We were
he's the team
saying
captain.
on the drive home they should play them both. Right?
Taylor knows how that goes.
Now, does Taylor play first and second, or does he play third down?
The Arkansas coach got a call from Avalos saying, "Hey, look, I got an idea."
I approve of this strategy.
Avalos. Speaking of Avalos'
Avalos,
defense,
yikes.
Jeez, not great.
So Emack was
McAllister was
injured?
in. He's
McAllister's been getting some catches. And,
Has he?
Yeah, some teeters. Yeah, he has some touchdowns.
Some touchdowns.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
I don't know if he's their best guy, but he didn't play the first week or two. I think he was injured or suspended. Who knows? I don't know. He didn't have any stats for the first couple
Should he
games.
have left?
No, who knows? But if he was here, he probably still the number one guy.
Because Chris Marshall hasn't done anything. I mean, he was supposed to be that big JUCO transfer in, and he's been injured
or something. Yeah, no, he was. I said this before. I'll say it now. He was on pace to be an NFL receiver playing here because he was featured.
Also, when you throw the ball like 20 whatever times we did to him.
Yeah, so we'll see how it ends up for him. I don't know.
Well, I do want to talk about defense.
or lack thereof.
Yeah, what were the stats on that?
500 yards given up. So in that Deseret News article,
What do you want to know?
so Utah State. Let me say something first. Before I pull that up. Utah State did something they haven't done since 2001. For those keeping score, that's 23 years. In a losing effort.
Hold on.
Okay. They had a player throw for 300 yards, a receiver catch for over 200 yards, and a running back run for over 100 yards.
Good for them.
Last night.
Good for them.
Good for them. So their quarterback, this is his 7th season. That was the best game statistically of his career.
In 7 seasons. We did it for him.
It's not good.
What part of our defense?
The
Mostly
pass
defense. Yeah, the front 7 you could see, or the front 4, whatever.
Front 7, I think.
I got the stats.
I think we're really strong.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to. I mean, how many sacks did we have? Sorry,
one.
Probably looking
First of the game.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah,
we had one.
Right. That's weird.
Yeah, that first drive we stuffed them.
Yeah,
really well.
Yeah,
and then I don't know what happened after that. Yeah.
Can I run down season stats here? Scoring. Okay, so there's 134 FBS teams, I believe, right? Scoring defense 99th, total defense 103, passing defense 124. Rushing defense, 50. Takeaways, 96. Interceptions, 122 with 1. Third down, 128 out of 134. Red zone defense, 72nd. We are second in sacks, though. So we were getting sacks.
For those following along at home, high numbers are bad.
That's not good. It's not good. It's not good. But we're 4-1, and we have Ashton Jeanty.
Can I still man that?
Go ahead.
The secondary.
Yeah.
Most of the games, take out Oregon, we've been winning. So you figure the other team has to pass a lot, right? So I think the stats are going to show a lot of passing. And then we make enough plays so you can gain 80 yards and not, like against Washington State, they would gain 50 yards and then we'd get like 2 sacks and then we'd take the ball over, right? So I think they're making enough plays, obviously, to win the games. And then even in Oregon, which was their best defensive performance, 20 points scored, right? So I think the stats don't show how bad we are.
What do the stats show?
Like they show that they show that we're worse than we are.
I phrased that wrong.
Yeah.
The stats don't show that how well we're doing.
That we're not doing well.
How do I still man that?
We're not doing well. We're not doing well.
I tried. It's bad.
The stats are the stat. 5 games in like first 2-3 games, you get 5 games in, that's almost half the season. The stats are what they are. 128th on third down. There's no excuse for that.
That's interesting.
And so to your point, there's one other thing you could say. We've had like 5 or 6 one-play possessions where Jeanty goes 75 and the defense has to come right out.
That's true.
We're scoring quick. I will give them that. But third down conversion rate at 128 is awful.
So let's just go over that because Washington State didn't have a lot of third down conversions, and then they even had 5 fourth down
Utah
plays?
State was 10. Utah State was 10 for 19 on third down yesterday.
50-50, 55%.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, it should be less than that. The first game did. I don't know if it's skewed. At 5 games, you can't skew. One game doesn't skew it a ton. The first game was really, really bad.
That was bad. I didn't think we did that bad in Portland State and in Washington State. I didn't think we did that bad.
I'm reading what it says here. 128 out of 134, man. It ain't good. But our DBs, so it's bad, dude. And I love our safety 0. What's his name?
Benefield.
Benefield's good.
I love his run support. I love when he comes up. He's around the line of scrimmage. He's a pure. He's a really pure tackler. So is Tubner.
Yeah.
He can't guard anyone. I mean, I'm sorry. He cannot guard anyone one-on-one. Go back through the game. The Oregon game, too. We blitzed the whole thing. Remember that one play? And they had that slant. He was the guy guarding it. It wasn't even close. Well, I mean, not from me to you would have been half. It would, but the other night, he got beat so many times. And then he was also the guy that they slant in front of him and missed. I mean, they say he's an NFL guy or whatever, but he needs to work. Benefield. And but he did not, it wasn't just Irby. In fact, I don't know if Irby got beat bad yesterday. No. It was everyone else.
You don't want to be noticed, right? Unless you get an interception as a defensive back. I didn't notice Irby.
I think it was spread out, but I do know, and I think I noticed Benefield because I think Benefield's gotten so much praise, and I like him a lot. I like Benefield a lot. So it pains me to say this, but his one-on-one coverage skills I don't think they've been good all year, but they were really bad yesterday.
Is that a coach thing?
So he's a safety. We have a new safeties coach, right? Like I said before the year, right?
Is he the cornerbacks coach, Warren
is the cornerbacks coach, and I think I said if we don't make the college football playoff, the number one reason will have been because Spencer Danielson didn't do what needed to be done in the offseason and fire him and bring someone else in. I said that,
hot take,
and I still stand by it. If we don't make it, it's going to be because we give up 45 points because we can't guard anyone on defense, and Jeanty's hurt or has a bad game or they bottle him up. We haven't stopped anybody. The only thing that stopped Oregon was them for inexplicably not throwing the ball.
Yeah. If
they were 21 for 24 something, and they had 2 wide open passes of the 3 that they didn't complete the whole game.
If you're playing Boise State, why don't you throw it?
5 wide, throw the ball.
Just throw it.
If you do anything else, you're a complete idiot.
Well, and props to Utah State. They were the only team that's done that.
And I think it's going to keep happening.
Well, I actually do think I'm glad it happened. Can I tell you why?
Sure.
It happened in a win. It
Yes.
happened in a blowout win, so you can address it. It's not like it happened and we lost.
Exactly.
Where it's like now it's too late.
Agreed.
So now at least you can address it, and it's glaring.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point where like, oh, they just had a bad coverage here or there, had a wrong read here or there. No. Like that's pretty bad. The one play that I thought that was pretty, I guess, glaring was they had a couple like 60, 50, 70-yard passes, and they weren't deep bombs. It was like a 15-yard catch or a 10-yard catch, right?
Jalen Royals is really good, by the way.
He is very good.
Yeah, he did well. First time he's done that well, though. Like, am I right?
200-plus yards.
Yes. But
Okay.
He's a good receiver.
He did well, sure, but there's a lot of good receivers out there. There's how many of those guys did we cover at Oregon? Or Washington State? Or I don't know. I mean, I just don't. Anyway, he had a good game, but there was a play that they did a slant, like kind of a post across the middle, and we had, I forget who the person is, doesn't even matter who it is, had a one-on-one tackle situation, and he kind of sat on his heels and whiffed. And it was just so clear. I'm like, that's the representation of our night with the secondary.
Yeah.
It was like, and then he went in for a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It's just
How do you make it better?
We won by 32, so it's like, hey.
32. But I just wonder what happens. And I know I've said this before, but to those guys like Orlando Scandrick, I mean, we're going back a ways, but Dante Dion.
Where are they
Darian
at?
Tom. Yeah, it's like
Jamar Taylor,
John Johnson,
Brandon
all these
Thompson.
guys,
We've
right?
had a lot
George
of
Iloka.
a lot of dudes.
A lot of dudes in the secondary, and we know their names. We know Benefield's name, but it's not like they're standing out as these all-stars.
Something happened, man.
I don't know.
Something happened.
I think one of us, or maybe I said it earlier, like this season, that game reminded me a lot of old school Boise State in some ways, offensively. But this defense is not, at least not the Pete era. Maybe the Hawk era where we had some shootouts, maybe, but the defense is not like those at all.
I actually feel like the front seven is good.
They're pretty good.
Really good.
Yeah.
I think our D-line's good. I
Yeah.
think our linebackers make good plays, but you negate all of it when you throw it 15 yards.
Yeah.
You negate the whole thing. Yeah. I do think some of their attitude is a little off, the DBs. And this is nitpicky.
I mean,
There was one play where the guy was running just kind of an in on the goal line, and the Utah State receiver dropped it. And the corner was running behind him.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything to do with the play. Didn't have anything to do with the receiver dropping it. And then, celebrated like holding his arm up like, no type thing. And part of me feels like, dude, the attitude of a secondary should be they don't gain a yard on passing. And they should be pissed every time. And they probably are. Every time there's a pass, a successful play, whatever, they should come back and be like, that's not happening again. That should be the area where they have a chip on their shoulder. IMO.
Yeah,
I mean, they really should have a huge chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, we're the ones.
First off, that happens all across college football every week, and it always makes me laugh. My daughter, who's 13, said the same thing. We were watching the game the other night, and she's like, "What did that guy do?" So it happens a lot. But when you're giving that up, and I don't know,
if you hit the ball,
Yeah,
If
that's
you
one
break
thing.
it up-
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like you have so much bad stuff to compare to that one little thing they didn't even do
Yeah.
about. It's like, well, what were you doing when they threw it over your head or when they ran past you? I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't.
It's like the attitudes.
I just like, and the kid. I mean, these guys are. I think last year we had the same issue. Remember, and I brought in like their recruiting. Remember that? Like a year ago.
Okay.
Like every DB we had like Power 5 offers.
Yeah.
Like these are not like, a bunch of
Well,
local
Irby
kids we just pulled up. I mean, Irby came from Cal. Banks came from UW. Like these are so that's why, again, I'm going to go back to, and I hate calling for, but it's like these are talented kids that a lot of schools wanted. And they just said, I mean, this is not just this year. And it's not just these. We have 2 starting corners two out of the 3 that weren't even on our team last year, Irby and Banks, that are playing a lot of
Who's
minutes.
the other, McCoy or who's the
McCoy
other?
starts on the other side, pretty much. It's the same problem. So that's why I'm like, is it a technique thing? It takes me back to, I played college basketball, guys. We haven't mentioned that in yet.
Here we go.
I played basketball.
We're just flexing all over these guys.
And I remember, so we had kind of had a defensive coach. Like he was in charge of the defense, right? And he was like man-to-man. I love the guy. He was super hardcore, but he was very specific on his technique on man-to-man defense, on-ball defense, right? And like footwork, very specific. And we had a kid on our team. His brother played in the NBA. His older brother. I can't remember his name.
James LeBron.
LeBron James. Yeah,
Lamar
that guy.
Odom?
No. Crap. Can't remember his name. It's been like 20 years.
Was he
But
a
anyways,
famous player?
His brother was a first-round pick, played at Eastern Washington. His brother did. And he was like a first-round pick from Eastern Washington, played in the NBA, played for the Detroit Pistons. I think he got drafted there. I know he played there.
Okay.
His brother's name was LaRon Stuckey.
Yeah, Rodney
Stuckey. His younger brother, I played with him at college, okay? The kid was
Now
like
he's name
5'10",
dropping.
5'9". Well, you wouldn't know who LaRon is, but dude, the kid was he looked like Ashton Jeanty. Short, just built, couldn't shoot worth a lick, but the guy was super athletic, okay? He could guard you up like nobody's business, right? If he wanted to. And I just remember the defensive coach got on him so much about footwork, the exact right footwork for us white guys that, have to do everything right. And this guy was so athletically superior, but they were on him all the time because footwork wasn't right. Yet he could guard you. You know what I mean? And I'm just wondering if like the coaching to the cornerbacks, I don't have no proof to think this, but maybe they're like overcoaching them or want them a certain way, and it's just not, because these are talented kids that are just not getting it done. And I don't know if they're getting overcoached or undercoached, but something's not working. If that makes sense.
I mean, it's secondary is all about covering the pass, all about positioning, right? You have to be in the right position to make a play. And the reason you're not in that position could be a lot of different things, right? Making a read quickly, making those reads too slow. And that's why all these coaches are saying you got to be able to play fast to keep up, because if you don't pick a guy to guard and go in the direction you think he's going, you're 3 steps behind, and that's what's happening, right? So yeah. I mean, who knows what the answer is?
I don't know what the answer is, but
But you don't think it's Warren?
I don't think he's the.
The production on the field certainly isn't.
It's just it hasn't been good. And again, we're winning games. We're 4-1, but I mean, Hawaii, I think, is back to the run and shoot, so that'll be interesting this week. They're throwing the ball a lot. UNLV all of a sudden has a quarterback that can throw it. I know they lost to Syracuse, boneheaded play at the end of the game there.
Which we need to talk about.
And then we will. And San Jose State, they threw it against Washington State, put up 52, 54 points against them. So we're going to be tested. You know what I mean? And I hope it doesn't come back to bite us.
I mean, the game plan to beat us is passing.
That's what it has to be.
So we should be tested every single game.
Agreed. But I think there's some teams capable of putting up a lot of points, and it's got to be a little bit better. And heck, if let's say, and not every team we play is great, and we are so good offensively that even if we give up 500 yards, we're scoring 62, we're averaging 50 a game. But is this defense, how do we feel about this defense again in the playoffs?
Go back to Oregon. I mean,
I think if we played Oregon right now,
you could do.
Agreed. We played really. I can't understand why Oregon had the game plan they did. I don't know. I don't understand it. They had 3 incompletions and 2 were overthrown to wide open receivers.
You know,
why
Oregon,
they didn't spread? I think they would. Now that there's more proof and evidence, I think we played Oregon this week. My guess is they'd spread it and throw it, is my guess. But we can't say that. All we can do is point back to facts.
Every team should do that, though.
But yeah, I'm scared.
Anyway, the point being is look at how we did against Oregon. We should have won that game.
Should have won that game.
And
Agreed.
so you can't. I mean, there's an aspect of showing up to play and making plays to get off the field in a specific time. It's not like anyway. Yeah.
Hey, can we shift gears and go non-Boise State?
I want to.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about Vandy.
Okay.
What a huge win, right?
Did you see a BSU guy was like, "Hey, if we ever
Gabe Iguodala.
Can we post that picture somehow? Yeah. Maybe we can."
So he put it's like your evacuation plan, right?
A fire safety
plan. Fire
yeah.
safety plan.
Did you see it?
He put it up for which route do we take to the Boise River when we tear down the goalpost? In response to his tweet, somebody said, no. That it's too tight going that way.
Yeah, you got to go you got to go to the west
east,
side.
No, the east side. Yeah, west side.
The west side of the
and
stands.
head that way.
Yeah, there's access into the river there.
Yeah.
Versus the west side or the east side, which is harder to get. You're fighting the bridge. And then people are like, let's just huck that thing off the P. Ryan Bridge and let's take it down to Twin. Let's throw it over the edge, dude. Let's go to Snake, which I like. Which I like.
Can I say the tradition of not only storming the field, but tearing down the goalposts, but then add the cherry on top, taking it out of the stadium, finding the nearest river, and dumping it there is so awesome.
I mean, it's beautiful.
It is.
It's emotional.
Tennessee did that a couple years ago when they beat Alabama. And they just carried that thing out and just they dumped it. And then the next day they're like, oh, frick, it's in the river. And they had someone go get it, and then they started cutting up pieces and giving it to people or selling it.
I mean, a goalpost in the river is not safe.
Dude, no.
You know?
But
you gotta clean it up.
I seriously loved watching that. They're just so happy and excited, just down the streets of Nashville.
You just think about it, why is that even a thing? People climbing up on the goalpost, they probably weren't strong enough, and it just fell, and then people are like, oh, we got to, it's a thing. We're going to tear these down.
I think I remember. So I remember charging the field, and I thought we played Marshall.
It was the Marshall game. And I thought over the loudspeaker, they're like, get off the goalpost.
Well, there were guys at the very top, like tree hugging.
Al Borges was on there. He was a coach. He was on the goalpost. He was on the goalpost.
Are you serious?
Yes, he was the offensive coordinator.
He's the offensive coordinator on the goalpost. Dude.
He's a big dude. He's a big guy.
Picture.
Well, there was guys, I remember, up at the top swaying, trying to rip it down. And on the PA, they're like, get off the field goal.
It's not coming down.
It's not.
Get off.
And that was before the breakaway field goal post. Dude, I don't know what it would take. What would it take?
I can't see it. What it would take would be us hosting a playoff game and winning that playoff game against an SEC.
Oh, I would do that in a heartbeat, dude.
But because there's no
could
team.
Could you imagine?
The thing is, these happen when you have a massive upset. Yeah. And there's just never a time that we're teams coming in here where we're that big of an underdog. That just never happens, ever.
Can I tell you what I don't love about the Boise River in that area? It's kind of shallow.
Yeah.
Especially if it's in the winter, there's a little stream coming in.
It's not gonna sink to the bottom. You're gonna still see the goalpost.
You see it. I want that thing buried, I actually posted that. I was like, we need to put that in every bathroom, every stairwell. The
plan, right?
Yeah, the plan.
People have to know.
You got to know, otherwise there's confusion.
So I responded to his tweet saying plan the work the plan.
Did you tag JD?
No.
Built different. Built different.
I did put
attack.
What's next, bleep blue.
That funny. I love that. I seriously love that.
That was good, man. Well, yesterday was how wild. Did you see the we got to talk about Miami, but how many teams? Somebody said shout out to the teams that were smart that didn't play this week.
Oh, seriously.
Was it 8 or 9?
Several ranked teams lost to unranked teams.
Number 8 should have lost.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay.
So Miami last week played Virginia Tech, and there was the Hail Mary situation-ish where the Virginia Tech player comes down with the ball and in slow motion has it in possession, whatever. We talked about it last week. Refs overturned it.
On the field was called a touchdown.
Correct.
6-minute review, right?
Yeah.
And then they overturn it.
They overturned it.
Okay. 1 week later.
1 week later, and then during the whole week, there's all this controversy like, hey, that was a little shady, but it happens every year, and people are like, whatever, get over it, all this stuff. Okay, fast forward to Cal versus Miami. I'm watching the game, after the BSU game, and the quarterback is all over the place. And this was in the third quarter, starting the fourth quarter. And he's like rolling right, threw a pick left, pick six, all that. No, the Miami quarterback. Miami. He's all over the place. Okay. I mean, he's not making anything happen.
Right.
And they're losing, what was it, 31 to 8?
Down 21 or 25?
31 to 10.
They're down 20 late, yeah.
Okay, so, and then I go to sleep, and I wake up, and...
Dude, I was in and out
I fell
of that
asleep.
Game. I kept falling asleep, waking up.
And they won.
I woke up, I saw the targeting play, and the announcer...
Oh, you did?
I saw it, and the announcers are like, originally... They said, I don't know, looks like it was a good hit. You know, they wanted to be on the side of just good football, play. And then they go back and look at it, and they're like, no, that's going to be called targeting. Like, if there's a definition of targeting, that's it.
The definition.
It was you put your hands at your side, and
you
you crown of the head that guy
and
all launch right at it.
Yeah, the thing they said was like, well, maybe it wasn't in the 6-inch radius of the crown. Like, what are we doing?
We glanced this guy's neck and we got kicked out. Like we're like petting guys in the head and they're kicking him out. And this guy straight up crown of the head right into the Cal quarterback and they don't call it. Didn't they reverse it or what was it? Didn't they take it away?
There was no call for there wasn't a call for
so
targeting. They went to review it to see if there was targeting, but the initial call was no targeting.
So that happened,
and that was third down, and so that would have been a first down. They're trying to drive the ball, run the clock out,
changes the game.
So they had to punt. It's a big deal.
Did you see the touchdown that they scored? Mm-mm. So they were on about the 5-yard line. Miami was. I saw the replay on this, and I saw a couple of the
guys downfield.
So they're on like the 5-yard line.
Okay.
Miami's on the 5-yard line, looking
about
to
score.
To score against Cal, and the play is a pass, and it's a rollout right, pass to the left.
Okay,
right. So it's kind of misdirection a little bit, right? So he rolls out right, and 2 linemen are in the end zone blocking.
In the end zone,
straight up in the end zone blocking, like engaged in a block, and then they throw it to the receiver, touchdown, and everybody's like,
"What?
How do you miss that? Like that's impossible to miss." And you're like, is it rigged? Is it an ACC thing?
Let's cut to the chase because none of us really care about Miami. What I care about is, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just that conflict of interest. These referees are employed by these conferences. And if we've learned anything over the last few years, it's that the conferences care about one thing and one thing only: money. That's why we have Cal playing frickin' Miami in the first place in a conference game. And if you have more teams ranked highly in the college football playoff, in the conversation, it's money, money, money for the next TV deal, for the college football playoff, whatever it is. And so everyone, the conference, the ACC conference or the Mountain West conference or the whatever conference, it's in their best interest that they have teams that are undefeated and playing well and highly ranked. We know that. And then they have referees that they employ. I'm not saying that they are like, hey, make sure that you skew this, but you know that no one's getting in trouble for making those calls that benefit Miami.
Yeah, you're right.
I guarantee no one's getting in trouble. And whereas if one of those goes the other way, maybe so-and-so doesn't get the premier game next week, I don't know. There's no proof to say that, but it's just a conflict of interest. It is. Right?
You're right. I mean,
because I think what does it benefit the conference if Cal wins that game?
Nothing.
It hurts.
Cal ain't going to be ranked.
For us fans at home that love to root for the underdogs, we want that to happen, right? I was cheering for Cal. I want Justin Wilcox to get a win.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, there's no benefit to get beat by a 3-2 Cal team or whatever.
Yeah, no. Now you have one team that's a possible college football playoff team, Clemson, right? Who already got creamed by Georgia. If Miami starts losing games, right? It's just like, I don't like it. I don't know. I was thinking about this. What's the way to do it? I mean, the way to do it is just I don't like the idea of having a centralized anything, but the way you do it is have referees that are just like
not
free. Yeah, they're not affiliated with conferences. And they just go to where they're assigned or whatever by some central authority.
Well, you could have a referee ranking system. I mean, easily enough.
Yeah.
They do for basketball, I'm sure.
Yeah, they do for basketball. I know that.
And
BJ's
so
always tweeting that out.
yeah, so you're right. It does go back to our conversations last year with Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
What about Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Where I was like,
Oh, yeah.
did the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl because of Taylor Swift?
Conspiracies.
I had a tinfoil
Tinfoil,
hat,
yeah.
but I just think once you start questioning the integrity of the outcome, it almost takes away the.
I've just seen too many reviews lately that there is enough evidence, and I'm not biased because I don't like really care about this stuff. But you're like, they missed the call.
How
Yeah,
did
the
they miss it? How did they
reviewing-
miss it?
I don't know.
And yeah, the number of times that the announcers are pretty sure, and then they even have the dude on the specialist come on,
Yeah,
and that
it's like
they're
stuff
not
that-
right, has been huge
And it's
this
like,
year.
what? What did they see?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was okay. Maybe I was like half asleep. But no,
You were the guy to make the call, dude. You were in it.
No, but I saw it, and I'm like, dude, he hit the side of his helmet. He stuck
Like-
the top of his helmet in his ear.
The better question is, if that's not targeting, what is?
Yeah.
It's not what Tubner did, right? That he got kicked
yeah.
out of the game for. What is
reverse
target?
that.
If you haven't seen it and you care, go back and
And
check
if we
it
have
out.
the
It was
rule-
targeting, but
And if we have the rule to protect the quarterback's head or whatever,
it's
like
just.
we didn't follow the rule.
I don't know. It raised some eyebrows for me again. That Miami benefits from a questionable call late again, and it'll be interesting to see if that happens more. If that's just a two off. I don't know.
Do you think the SEC and Big Ten wanting 4 guaranteed spots is a big deal?
Yeah, I think it's lame. I think it's so freaking lame. Like, and I didn't understand the details. So they met, and basically they threatened that before. And
Before what?
like 6 months ago when they were meeting.
Gotcha.
And it got pulled back because it got a lot of national negativity, right? But basically at that time they were I think from what it sounds like they were threatening to basically leave. And so in exchange for guarantees that everyone else would at least still have some access, it sounds like the Big Ten and SEC can make this change unilaterally for the next. I was read Ross Dellinger, who we've talked about, good source on this stuff. It sounds like they can come back and basically say, well, as long as everyone else has one bid, this is how we're going to change it. So if you're not, if people aren't up on it, basically this year and next year, 12-team playoff has some rules, but 26 and beyond, the rules are not set. So it might be 12 teams, it might go to 14, it might go to 16, whatever. But the Big Ten and the SEC are trying to say, or they're trying to make rules that both their leagues will get 4 guaranteed bids every year, which is so ridiculous. Why do you need that? Why? I mean, there's some, this year SEC will probably get 4 in anyways. And some years the Big Ten might. And maybe they're the best teams, great. But what about the year that your 4th best team is 7-5? Because it's going to happen.
Well, you need it because you get money, right, in the playoff? I mean, how much money are guaranteed when you go to the playoff?
They're already guaranteed. No, so that's
that
a
already
misnomer
thing?
that actually people are mistaking. They took that off the table. So if Boise State, if we go to the playoff this year, people think there's some windfall. No windfall, 0. We get 0 money.
Why?
That they changed the rules. So the SEC and the Big Ten get like $20 million a school going forward, no matter who goes. The group of 5 teams get like $1.6 million. If they go or not, doesn't matter. And so there's actually no financial incentive. It's already skewed 20 times to the big conferences, and then the ACC and the Big 12 are somewhere in the middle.
That hurts my
So
feelings.
this isn't your old BCS.
This
money
is
we're
not the old.
talking about.
Remember when Boise State went the first year and they got like $6 million or whatever, and it was a big nothing. We will get nothing to go to the playoff.
You will get nothing. And
No, you won't. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't like it.
More than ever,
4 guarantees. Come
More
on.
than ever, I feel like I'm going towards the way that you were talking about, where there's the separation of the top group, 30 whatever teams, and then the second tier, which is the Iowa States and the Kansas States and maybe BYU, whatever. Can we go over just for fun the teams that would make that? I'm just curious.
Second tier,
the first tier. So I'm going to read
That's
off
the
the teams
question.
from the SEC, and you tell me if they make it or not, and let's count them. Let's say there's 32 teams.
You're talking about the top tier here.
The top tier. I'm going to say SEC and then Big Ten. So I'm just curious who you think would make it into that. This is an unscientific.
Okay.
I'm going to read them off. Alabama.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Auburn.
I'll say to all
Okay.
but Vandy.
Only if they get
I
Harsin
normally
back,
say
but
Vandy.
Okay. So Auburn, Florida, Georgia,
Yeah.
Kentucky.
See, that's the question mark, but
No.
Okay, so are you counting these, by the way?
No.
So 1, 2. So somebody count them. So, well, I guess we can 1, 2, 3,
Vandy,
4,
Kentucky.
5. LSU,
yeah.
Mississippi State.
No.
I don't know. Probably a no. If you're talking top tier and they really break, I appreciate the exercise we're doing, but I don't think it'll happen this way.
I know. I'm just
I think it'll
curious.
just be these top two
Can we
conferences.
can we
But go
just
ahead.
go
Okay.
over it just for fun?
Who deserves it? Okay.
Mississippi State.
Probably no.
Okay, Missouri.
Ooh, they got spanked.
Yeah, I think yes.
Yeah, Oklahoma, Ole
Yeah.
Miss,
Yeah.
South Carolina,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee,
Yeah.
Texas A&M,
Uh-huh.
Texas.
Yep.
The vaunted Vanderbilt Commodores.
Probably definitely no before, but no. For
So
sure. If you're
of the
cutting
three,
anybody,
so you Kentucky, Vandy, and Mississippi State.
yeah, those would be the bottom three.
Okay, how many teams are we at so far?
That would be 13.
Okay, well, tell me the teams that you think would make it here. Michigan, Ohio State, Nebraska.
Yep, all of them.
Penn State,
Yep.
Indiana,
No.
Wisconsin,
Ooh, Wisconsin.
Probably.
lately.
Probably.
Minnesota,
No.
No.
Shouldn't.
Iowa,
Yeah,
Yes.
they would.
Michigan State,
Not
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
not good.
They probably would though.
Rutgers,
No.
Purdue,
No.
Illinois,
Shouldn't.
Northwestern,
Shouldn't.
Maryland,
Shouldn't.
Oregon.
There's actually a lot of
Yeah.
trash in the Big Ten. If you
There's a
ask me.
ton. There's
Yeah.
there's 4 teams
Oregon,
right
yes.
there. Oregon, UCLA, SC, and Washington.
All those, but maybe UCLA. They wouldn't deserve it, but they take them anyway because the LA market. You know, I mean, that's how it works.
Okay, well, if you take out
Then you
Rutgers, Purdue, Illinois, Northwestern,
Maryland.
Indiana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take them out. They're ranked right now.
Maryland. Oh, Maryland. I didn't even
Yeah.
put that in.
They have
8. There's 8 teams that we said no on.
right. No,
Out
I
of
know.
10, the Big 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, from my perspective, you're like, are those? Where's the second tier coming in? The Big 12
Yes. The Big
and
12
the Pac
just
6
the reality is the Big 12 and the ACC,
and the American.
all those teams would jump. All you have to do is look at it. Any of those teams from any league would jump to the SEC or the Big 10. That's just how it is.
Well, I'm just saying. I guess if you were to
they
to
could.
supplement some of the Big 10, you would say Florida State, Miami, Clemson,
Sure.
North Carolina.
Sure.
I mean, you could supplement there, and then you could go to the Big 12 and say
There's
Utah,
nothing. Utah.
TCU.
No. Utah maybe. They're a big school and but I don't know. Is Utah just Whittingham? You know, you do wonder a little bit about what happens to Utah after Whittingham leaves.
Why is Utah better than TCU? They both left at the same time, roughly.
I don't know.
Like,
I
why
think
are
it's
they a
just
bigger
because it's a state school. They've been better
And,
overall. I
You're not
think.
selling it for me.
I don't know. Maybe it's just
they're
the
playing the
bias
Pac-12?
of I like Utah and they're close
Well,
to
who's
us.
TCU's
Maybe.
coach? Gary, whatever.
It used
He's
to
not
be.
there
Yeah,
anymore.
Patterson was good. It's not going to work out that way though.
Okay,
in my opinion.
I'm just saying it's an
But,
interesting thought process to go through.
Yeah, I don't like it, but
Dude, Big Ten has a lot of not so amazing teams.
really they do.
Well, they have a
Minnesota
top-
playing Maryland. Who's watching that game other than
More
those
people than watch BSU games.
I would argue yes, but there's a few reasons for that. There really are, and the main reasons are one,
East
they put
Coast?
those games on Fox.
Okay, good point.
And on like main channels at good times. And the other reason is, yes, historically they have way bigger fan bases because they have way bigger, like 3 to 4 times the students, which means they have 3 to 4 times, well, more than that because they've been around longer, alumni. And they have bigger followings. Doesn't mean anything on the field, though.
But don't forget Minnesota just beat USC.
They did.
They did.
Yeah. Row
Did
the boat.
you see the Stanford game against the Texas or the Virginia Tech Hokies?
I just saw their
Did you see the
stadium.
pictures?
Yeah. They never draw.
So if you were to take
Sandra
out, if
Luck.
you were to, did you see it?
The crowd.
The crowd.
Yeah.
Did you see it? Like it
a
was.
joke.
It was not just oh, that's not very many people. You would look at one side of the stadium that didn't have the away fans, the Virginia Tech fans.
Yeah.
There's maybe 100 people there,
It was horrible.
and it was middle of the first half.
It was so
It was
bad.
14-0.
Yet they're in the ACC somehow because they're Stanford. I don't get it. It's like
What
no-
happened? Like the fall from grace they had was
Well, they're bad.
crushing. Well, because it went from Harbaugh to Shaw to now. I mean, look where they fell to though. Like, come on, that's a story right there. That's wild. Did you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
He's looking at it.
It's
It's
empty.
bad.
You can count the number of people on it.
It looks worse than a spring game, like the
No,
spring
much worse.
scrimmage.
No, it's worse than a practice, and that's not even a joke. Like that, there is nobody there.
You can see the bleachers, like the colors.
All of
the
them.
Yeah.
No, and the reality is, you can count the fans in
Yeah.
the whole side of the whole, like from the 20 to the 20. You could count the number of fans in that picture.
Why are they valuable to the ACC? Why?
I don't know.
Like,
Football wise, I'm not sure.
yeah, I just
Maybe
don't get it.
academically, I don't know.
What academic is the biggest hack in the
I
world?
don't know. I don't know.
We're not sitting there
Like-
doing a math competition
like-
at half.
Seriously, like,
This
and even
isn't-
I'm not saying their ACC would grab us, but like, and we bag on BYU a lot,
Not
but like,
enough.
not enough, but fairly enough, fairly quite a bit. But like a school like that, they have a 60-something thousand seat stadium, BYU,
Yeah.
and they're selling it out for the most
Oh.
part. Like, I mean, there's so
Well,
many
their
other
football
schools.
team's
Like,
good,
they're
but they do it anyway. Usually,
they're there anyways, and so is Boise State fans. I don't know, it drives me nuts. What makes college football great isn't that they're all professionals and they're amazing. It's the pageantry. It's taking the goalpost and putting it in the river. It's like, and then you have Stanford, who was good when they had Andrew Luck and Jim Harbaugh, and they're in the ACC because they're that valuable. God, give me
That's
a
why
break,
I do think
man.
Cal and Stanford should come
Give
back
me a break.
to the pack.
How?
back to the pack.
Yeah. Huh. We are going over.
We're going over.
Yeah.
Hey, while you're finding the outro music, I want to read one of the comments
Oh yeah, I had a few comments to
from
pull up.
Simon Hitt.
Okay.
He said, "Wow, this is from
Wow.
last week's video." He said, "Wow, that intro made me feel like I was walking into Hollister
Yeah.
at the Boise Town Square Mall in 2005."
You know what you needed to do, and maybe Mark said it. Spray a little perfume right by your nose and listen to that
Listen.
intro.
I did not say that, but that's good.
Put on like a puka shell necklace.
Oh, just frost those tips, baby, and you're all the way back. You know, there's another one, Jord Hansen.
Oh, we know Jordan.
We know Jordan.
Yeah, he said this episode made me more interested in going to a game. It hasn't really ever been.
Yeah, he's not a big.
Yeah.
You
So
should
there's
go.
kind of that.
You'd like it.
There is
And
Let's
then
see.
and then Bill followed up to that Hollister comment and said exactly, or a Sears or Kmart commercial.
Ooh,
I don't
know where that
about
one came from.
Come
or
on.
that one
I'll
was
take
like low blow.
Hollister, but geez, Sears.
Dude, Sears used to be legit.
I'm looking
man.
Back
for
to
one
school. I went back to school shopping at JCPenney.
Did you talk? Did
And
we
then-
we talked about the jittery goat, right?
Apparently somebody told us about their high school prom being in the Sky Center. I don't know how that relates to anything.
That would be a sweet place to do a high school prom.
I did
That
talk
would be
about
sweet.
middle
That'd
school
be
dance,
awesome.
but I don't know.
Did we talk about jittery goat?
Yeah, I've mentioned him.
Yeah.
Older gentleman.
Older gentleman.
Yeah.
Really great guy. Talked about Madsen's completion percentage for the year. So he was just hitting marks.
Yeah,
sweet
and it
spot.
wasn't good before this game, right?
And
It
then
wasn't.
we said, he just brought in Talen's versus Madsen's kind of touchdown and percentage. So he's invested. He had a couple of comments on that. Jittery Goat
Well,
did
thank
a good
you,
job.
Jittery.
So
Madsen turned over a new leaf this week.
Clear
he's gotta be playing
separation.
he's got to be playing with confidence, and I'd love Mad Dog to be the guy. And that was a great step forward. So let's hope that was the first of many of those types of games.
Well, guys, to everybody out there, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We got Hawaii coming up. We'll do a show after that game, and we'll see you then. Go Broncos.